Hello YouTube world. I've been asked to do this video, so I said today I would actually take the time out to do it. Phone review. Everybody always asks me, they say, Combo, why you got so many phones? Which one of those phones do you like? And I say I hate them all equally. I started out with, I guess I started out with a BlackBerry. Then I went to I guess I started out with a Palm. Then I went to a BlackBerry. And I held on for dear life for my BlackBerry. But then I think I got the 3G. And then I got the 3GS. Then I got the 4. And instead of getting the 4GS, well, I did buy the 4GS, but I didn't keep it that long. I returned it real quick. I didn't like it. The only difference between the 4 and the 4GS was Siri. And I wasn't about to pay all that extra money just for Siri. But anyway, instead of getting the 4GS, I got my first Note. And that was the Note 2. And I really, really liked that phone. But it wasn't until I got my Note that I realized how much I disliked certain things about my iPhone. So anyway, that's the history. I started out with my first Android phone was a Note 2. And I bought the Note 3. I skipped the Note 4. And skipped the Note 5. And then eventually went back. Then I bought an LG V10. And that phone was absolutely terrible. So that's a little history there. So now I guess we're kind of caught up. In between the V10 is when I bought this POS. Well, it don't even want to turn on. This phone here. This is a Windows phone. Here, let me put my password in so y'all won't see. This is a Windows phone. They forced me to buy this for work. I absolutely abhor this phone. I've never liked it. I just keep it for work. So, Windows phone. The thing that's good about the Windows phone is the mail client. The mail client is really unbeatable on this phone. It's really nice. Cortana works okay. She works about as well as Siri. I keep this phone around because it's got a low res front facing camera. So that's the blue. That's a blue phone. It was real cheap. And I mean, it functions. That's about all I can say about that. This is the iPhone 5S. One of my loyal YouTube followers, I'm giving them this phone. They know who they are. Thank you for watching my videos. And this is just a small token of my appreciation. This phone worked really well. It still works really well. I never really had any problems with it. I guess that's one reason why I still have it, because, I mean, I just never really had any issues. Yeah, you can't verify something. Okay, that's good. Yeah, and turn it on in a while. So, yeah, this phone, I'm about to wipe it and update it with the latest iOS. It works really well. Can't complain about it. Never really got slow or anything. I mean, it's just a solid phone. So these are my two probably oldest phones. Then I guess my next oldest phone would be this Note 4. After I got out of my LG V10, I bought this phone, waiting for the Note 7 to drop. This phone, it was pretty snappy, but I rooted it And it's just slow as hell now. I mean, look how long it takes for that camera to open up. I mean, if you're trying to do something really important, this phone is not the one to do it on. I use this phone around the house. It stays connected to Wi-Fi. This is what I use when I'm at home. But it's slow. It's really slow and it's kind of annoying. I mean, to launch apps is slow. And I think it's my fault because I rooted it, and then it's not on the latest Android that this phone can handle either. So, I mean, it's just slow. It's just unnecessarily slow. And because I rooted it, it's always asking for an update right here. But it won't take the update because you got to do some fancy smancy reroute it or take it back to factory just to update it or something like that. I guess that's not my second oldest phone. I guess this is my second oldest phone. Wow, this one won't even turn on. Is it dead? It must be dead. This is probably my most solid phone out of all of them. I can't believe it's dead. I thought I charged it. Oh yeah, I kind of remember it dying last night. This is the iPhone 6 Plus. By far the best phone I have in this house. The battery is solid. The fingerprint is kind of suspect on this one. The iOS needs to be updated. I think this thing is still on 8.1. This is 128 gig, so it is full. Like it can't take any more. But I want to stick on this phone for a little while because I upgraded to the 7, which should be charged. Yes, it's charged. I upgraded to the 7, and this iPhone 7 battery is trash. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I mean, it lasts about as long as my Note. And I'm so upset too because I just broke my charger for my Note. I have 3 batteries for my Note 4. And I just broke my charger. Some cheap charger. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I literally just broke it like maybe 5 minutes ago. So that's going to be interesting to keep these 3 batteries charged. That's going to be real interesting. Which leads to the last one, the last culprit. This Note 7. Of course, this is the phone that has had so many problems. I'm not a fan of this phone. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of this phone. I can't type on this phone. I mean, I just have hell with everything on this phone. I'm trying to give you an example of. Like, for instance, if I were to type on this screen, unless you're swiping on this phone, I mean, doing that old school peck typing, it doesn't really work well. It's something about the OS on this system where the autocorrect doesn't really, it doesn't really work as well as this Note 4. This Note 4, I could type on this thing almost like I was typing on the typewriter. But this thing, this Note 7, I cannot type on it. I don't know why. It's terrible to type on. I've tried to go into the settings and do the autocorrect update to make it as similar as possible to the Note 4 with the keyboard and stuff like that, with the auto predictions. What is that? Ease of access, or language and input. it just doesn't work. Auto check spelling is on, auto capitalizing is on. It just doesn't work as well. And then, like I said, if I go right back to this Note 4 and check on the same settings, what was it? Language and input. I mean, they're similar. Sorry, I keep putting my finger in the screen. I mean, I'm using Samsung keyboard on both of them. Predictive text is on both of them. And I know that screen. There we go. That's a little bit better. Auto spacing's checked. Keyboard swipe is checked. I mean, they're similar. But for whatever reasons, I cannot type on that Note 7. I cannot do it. I don't know why. I have no explanation. So I don't like typing on the Note 7. I really only use the Note 7 when I leave the house. That's the only time. I only turned it on for this video. I mean, that's why it's 100% charged. Well, 99 now. The battery on this Note 7 is... I mean, it's better than the Note 4, but, you know, with the 3 batteries on the Note 4, I'm not sweating that too much. But I don't know about the battery on the Note 7. It's kind of suspect, to say the best. So, functionality. Okay, my best phone in this house again is this Note 6. I mean, iPhone 6 Plus. It's not the 6S. It's just a 6 Plus. It doesn't have the haptic feedback or anything like that. Battery life is good. I've had a few problems with it where, you know, it'll freeze up and then I can't type on it. I can't believe it's not charged. But anyway, this is by far my best phone. The iPhone 7, I can type on it really well. I mean, it works really well. It's just the battery is shit. I mean, it's really bad. Excuse me for cussing. It's just really bad. I mean, the battery is just really bad on this iPhone. I mean, it dies neck and neck with the Note 7. So I'll put them in order from favorite to least favorite. It's my favorite phone. iPhone 6 Plus is my favorite. Note 4, it's slow, but it's solid. It feels good. It's responsive enough. It takes pretty good pictures. This is a solid phone. I like this phone. And matter of fact, whatever I decide to do with this phone, I'm probably going to go back with this phone. Especially since Samsung, for whatever reason, is only offering the people in Korea their phones. If they trade in their Note 7s, they get the Note 8 for half price. I don't know why we're not getting that deal. Then I'm probably going to pick this. I mean, I haven't used this phone in like 2 years, so I'm just going off of memories on this phone. Battery life is good on this one. It's more responsive than the 6. This is just a good phone, a real good phone. Then it's probably going to be the iPhone 7. This is a 256 gig. So I went with the gold on this one because I went with the silver on this one. I like the Note 7. I like the irises, the iris security. You know, I like the fingerprint. It works really well. The pictures, it takes really good pictures at night, but I can't type on it. And the S Pen, of course, is really nice. And then this is just a POS. So I might move this one down because I do like some things about my Note 7. So I think that's my official order. 6 Plus, Note 4, iPhone 7, Note 7, 5S, iPhone 5S. And the Windows Blue HD is my order of preference. Best low-res front-facing camera by far. Can't be beat on low-res camera. I can record videos low-res on this front-facing camera for like 2 hours, and it'll maybe be like 300 megs, maybe. Best by far. I keep that phone because of that. Best feature on this phone, I guess just its compactability. I mean, it's just overall sturdy phone. Never really had any problems out of it. Good phone. Real good phone. Oh, this is back in the day when you had to press it on top to turn it off. Note 7, best feature, fingerprint, S Pen, irises. Can't type on it for anything. I don't even think that the rear camera is all that on this phone. Oh, and you all may notice I have like a history of these spiking. Speaking cases are really good if you're ever looking for a case. Those are really good. I like the water resistance on this phone too. I've been using that lately. As I'm getting more comfortable with the phone, especially seeing as I'm not the only one that's still keeping mine, I'm going to keep this one until they come up with some kind of deal or something for us Note 7 owners to get the Galaxy Note 8. And then they just announced that the 8 is coming out early 2017 too. So I'm gonna probably end up keeping this until the Note 8 drops. iPhone 7, it feels solid. It's got a really nice weight to it. The fingerprint reader is fast. It is almost too fast because, I mean, you just barely put your finger on it and it unlocks. I mean, it's like, sometimes I just try to wake the phone up and it'll automatically unlock it because that's just how fast. I mean, I don't know if y'all are seeing that, but that's how fast the new iPhone 7 unlocks with the fingerprint. It still takes pretty good pictures on this one. I like this phone. It's just the battery. And they've had reports of iPhone 7s blowing up or catching fire, at least in Australia. Note 4. I'm going to try to reroute this and update it to the latest Android. And then I think that this phone, this is a really, really solid phone. And then finally, my non-charge iPhone 6. By far the best battery. I've been out of town and forgot the charger for this thing, using it regularly, and it still lasts about 3 or 4 days. By far the best battery. The fingerprint is suspect. The camera is really good. It's got the speakers that put out good sound, even though 7 puts out better sound externally. But I mean, how often are you going to be listening to music externally for everybody to hear? But this puts out decent sound externally. This one doesn't do it too good of a job externally. This one is horrible externally. And this one don't even come into racing. But this overall is the best phone. I know one of my buddies from Zimbabwe was saying that he noticed that the prices of the 6 and the 6S went up. That's because everybody's abandoning these. They don't really like these phones. So I don't know what I'm going to do next year with the iPhone 10-year anniversary, but we'll see if this phone sticks around. But yeah, if you have any questions that I didn't specifically answer about these phones, leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to answer them. The quickest phone is probably this one, then this one, then the 6S, as far as processing power. And the slowest ones is this is probably slowest, even over this phone. Is that Note 4. I think I got to reroute that one, so we're not going to judge it too harshly. But yeah, if you like this video, I'll send some more, do more in-depth reviews individually on on the phones. And the question is, a smart man once asked me, well, if you're taking a picture of 6 phones, or if you're taking a video with 6 phones, then what devices are you using to record this video? Stay tuned next time, and we'll get into that. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.